It would appear that the right to free speech in this country and the right to have an opinion are both under threat. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's a Friday afternoon and a nice sunny one outside. If you're new here, can you give us a subscription to the channel? It helps us grow. You can do that by hitting the little red square in the corner there. There's a link in the description, also a subscribe button directly beneath this video. And if you could give it a like as well, that'd be cool. Thank you. There seems to be a concerted movement and effort in this country, particularly by those of the left and the liberals, to change words, to silence people with an opinion different to their own, and if it's inconvenient it gets snuffed out or you get told to shut up. We're getting loads and loads of words in our dialect now which are deemed offensive, and it's really quite ridiculous. If you look under the Human Rights Act, section 10 I think it is, we are entitled to an opinion. We are entitled to offend somebody. But that being said, it's gone too far. I heard a thing where they want to take the term breastfeeding, the mere act of a woman feeding her baby, and they want to call it chest feeding. You can't get milk out of a chest, you get milk out of a boob. It's the way it always has been. And that woman feeding her baby will now be called a person, because apparently the term woman is offensive as well. It's getting quite absolutely ridiculous. There's so many examples of phrases and words we've used daily, day in, day out, which are now being considered offensive by those at the far left and the liberals. I call them the lovies, the easy to offend brigade. The whole thing's getting completely out of hand. I want to show you something now where Sadiq Khan was questioned by one of the London mayor candidates about his opinion of some of these words, and see how he was treated.
I want to find out what you think, because this is an issue that people have opinions on, and I want to find out your opinions. And there's also a move to change the language. For example, in the NHS, I want to remove words like mother and pregnant and actually call, instead of calling people pregnant women, we're calling people pregnant people. Do you support moves to remove words like women and mother from the language?
I've not seen what you're referring to. I've got
There's been lots of reports, for example, certain NHS areas are trying to remove words so that we don't have maternity services anymore. They want to change things from saying breastfeeding as becoming chest feeding, for example. I mean, would you support changing the language?
Chair, can I raise
Chair, I'm being interrupted in this.
I believe it is improper, and
member has a right to.
Standing Orders, section 2.10b, part 2.
No, you have a right to intervene. Please go ahead, Assembly Member.
We're hearing very discriminatory language here, and I think the member should not be further heard.
I would second that suggestion from Assembly Member Russell. This is appalling, and also the Mayor has no responsibility for the National Health Service, and the reports about these matters have been proven to be incorrect in any case. I mean, this is just, completely inappropriate for this Assembly to be listening.
Assembly Member Curtin, I do believe that if not actually, you're verging on very offensive comments which are not acceptable, and therefore can you please move on, and if you have any other issue, any item of question, please ask that to the Mayor.
Mr. Chairman, I'm simply asking questions about things that are happening in London and things that the Mayor has tweeted about and things that he has an opinion about. So I think everybody should be allowed to ask questions of the Mayor and see what he thinks. And he does have some responsibility for healthcare and health inequalities. So I would put that question to the Mayor again. Does he support those changes in language?
Well, look, Mr. Mayor has answered your question. I think please move on. I have given my ruling. I do find your line of questioning and in the way you're putting it offensive. too many, and therefore, if you don't have any other question, I'd like us to move on.
My God, it's almost like Sadiq Khan has got a panic button underneath his desk. I've got a question I don't want to answer. Tell him it's offensive. Tell him it's offensive. Push, 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 push. What's offensive about asking a question to clarify his position on people claiming that words are offensive? There's nothing offensive about it. There's a room full of snowflake-lovey champagne sippers who just wanted to silence him because it was inconvenient to their agenda. This is very, very dangerous the way this is going. It's been going on for years, and we are going to end up in a very, very dark place indeed. It'll get to the point where I could be sitting around a dinner table with my wife, telling him an offensive joke, and I'll have the police knocking on the door. What is this, the USSR? I ask you, come on. I really think that if you are offended when somebody opens their mouth and says the most innocent of things, you should do yourself a favour. Sit in a dark room with soundproofing and shut the world out. It would be far easier for you and far easier for everybody else. This is absolutely ludicrous, and I and thousands of other people have had just about enough of it, and because of the opinion I've just displayed, I will probably get called racist and sexist and homophobic and everything else, and I've not been any of those things. I'm not any of those things. I've literally just given you my opinion, which I will do on a regular basis. Have a good rest of the day, and I will see you on the next one. Toodaloo.